Go live. Are we good? Hello? Are we live and all that? And checking on my phone. It looks like it's good. Cool. No, don't pause it. I just want to mute my phone for a sec, otherwise my talking over my talking will be very distracting. Alright. Hello, welcome to, I guess, the first charity live stream for Thankmas this year. Oh no, I gotta undo that. Okay. If you didn't know, I'll mention this periodically, but if you didn't know, Jacksepticeye started a fundraising for the community Red Nose Day to help aid for the children in need and their families, and to help raise money during this time. They also start technically today on the 12th, though everyone seems to be doing it on the 13th. I don't know. It depends how much money we raise here. I don't know. Right now, I'm just sticking it with today. But I have a link in the description below if you want to donate. It's a small amount that I'm striving for, but again, it's tied to the stream. It's tied to the donation thing itself. So like, if you want, you can donate to. It'll be up for like during the whole 9 days that is going on. So like, if you, like I said, if you don't have to donate today if you can't or don't want to. Mostly if you can't. But it'll still be around. And if you can't, find someone who can and shove it in their face. Force them. Okay, so what we're gonna do is like just do a few drawings here and there. I was actually thinking of like giving some drawing tips throughout this whole thing, because like it's only a 2-hour live stream. I should put on a timer for that, for me mostly, because I have a problem with not keeping track with live streams. I just keep going and going, but I need to sleep. So we should finish in about 2 hours from now. Okay, let me get to it then. Let me get to it, switch to it. Here we go. But first, I think we're just gonna do a few random doodles just until we get like a bigger crowd or something. Maybe like for the first 15 minutes. Okay, let me see if it... Okay, cool, like successfully transitioned. Yay. Okay, so what should I draw? Apparently I already drew on this little thing. I don't see it though. Hang on, the fan's getting a little loud. I'm gonna check how my volume is. It sounds good. Cool. Okay. This is me drawing me with a little drawing of me drawing me in the corner over there. It's drawception. I keep like changing the style of this character's hair, but I don't mind. I swear I could draw better than not too better, but just as good. Just a little warm up. Oh, maybe we could start with some warm up drawing sketches that I learned on the internet. Where's that dot? There's apparently a red dot on this layer, but I don't see it. It's not a big deal or anything. It's just odd. I thought I deleted all the red dots. Okay. All right. Let's start with some. Let's start with some extras. I stretched my mouth. I did exercises. There we go. Exercises before we did this. The speech exercises. Exercise. Oh no. Anyways, we're gonna do some drawing exercises first. Okay. Because like I found out something interesting. You don't actually draw with your wrist. If you do this, you draw with your arm. Apparently, it helps like de de deter stress from, like I said, the wrist, which is how you get carpal tunnel syndrome, which is where you basically get too much muscles on the wrist, and it becomes harder to like bend it or function it, and so yeah, it's good to do stretches and warm-ups before drawing anything, which I should really get into the habit of. Right now I'm just drawing circles because that's one of the things you do first, you spirals. One of them is a spiral, another is like, I'm going to do another spiral, but this time I'm going to concentrate on making it a perfect spiral. Not perfect, but more fluid than a mess. Look at it. It's glorious. It's glorious. I deleted the other one. I actually changed my mind. I want to keep this. How do I do that? Right. I know how to do things on my program. Outside, paste. There we go. It's there. Okay. The second exercise I'll deselect is like drawing lines. Just a bunch of lines. As straight as you can. Funny thing, I trained my left hand to be so that, because like I'm primarily right hand dominant, but because I draw and in classes I took a lot of notes, it was a lot of stress for my hand. So I trained my left hand how to write, and the first thing I learned how to write with my left hand was straight lines, because a lot of what we do and write and stuff is with straight lines. Right now I'm drawing the straight lines with my right hand. I'm mostly drawing with my right hand this stream. I'll show you how it looks the left hand. Let me change the color. Striking red. Okay. Although I'll admit my left hand is not used to tablet drawing. It's not that different. It's squiggle, it's swerves and squiggles. Maybe I'll do a left hand challenge here. Because like I said, my left hand's not used to, what's it called? To the tablet drawing, the digital drawing. It can't, I do sometimes use it to color it in, but I don't know how I color in is basically just color outside the lines, then cut it out. So like it doesn't have to feel like it has enough stress. That was my left hand following that. Alright, back to the right now. Okay. Another exercise that you should really, that we should do. I see the chat. Hello. I don't know where the dot is. Hello, Zippy Zo. Hello, Crunchy Knuckles. Permanent nerve damage. No, stretching good. Yeah. Better make sure you stretch good. Tablets can be a little weird to draw on. Yeah, they can be. They can be a little weird to draw on. Because, like, they're a little more flimsy than notebooks, I guess. I don't know. I also, like, you're not looking at the paper yourself. You have to look at the screen while drawing on the while drawing on the tablet. So, like, right now I'm using my peripheral vision, but basically you have to pay attention to two things at once, basically. There are some tablets that are both the screen and the drawing, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm too much of a fan of those. And this is another exercise drawing that you do for the what's it called? For the stretching. You draw lots of squares. Little squares. Who knows, maybe all that abstract art is actually just the painter who was drawing and was like, I feel like coloring this. I'm having a bad day. So they did, and then an investor was like, wow, this is neat. Can I buy it? And he's like, all right. Squares. So basically, a stretching portion is all shape-based, essentially. This is the most I remember on the top of my head. There's probably more. Drawing stretching sketches to this. Let's see, what else? Little squares, big squares, little squares. A little square that's so small it looks like a dot. It is a dot. I shall frame the dot. There. Alright, now let's do some triangles. Look at them triangles. Those Doritos. Those demon Doritos. Little Bill here. He invades everyone's minds. There. Alright. Alright, what time is it? 12:08. How long have we been playing for? Oh, there's another one. That would sure be nice. No, there are. Is that referring to the tablet comment? Okay. My mic was a little looser. Okay. Alright. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and start doodling. Start teaching how to doodles, because like I said, we only have so much time. Only just 2 hours. That's about the same length as you get with classes. I'm gonna change this the brush stroke here. Can't see it. I don't know why it doesn't show. Not that I don't mind. I mean, like, it doesn't show. The layers are actually right on top of the canvas, and they don't show. And that's nice, actually. They don't show in the live stream. I'm saying that's nice a lot because, like, I don't have to maneuver it or anything. Okay, so I guess first we'll do like the basic a basic profile, a basic picture of a figure person standing. So this would be the head. Normally, a circle is basically the base of everything with everyone, no matter the size or, I don't know, because like horses, well, I guess horses, you could start with a circle. Probably draw a horse later. I never drew a horse in digital art. And basically what we're drawing here is the skeletal structure first. And like a lot of the exercises do apply here. Because like you see all the lines and the squares. And basically when you're drawing a person, when you're drawing anything really, the base of it all is all like shape space. Some people like me, like you saw earlier, are able to like draw without really showing or needing a skeleton, but that's because like I'm used to it, you know? We're used to like knowing where we're supposed to go where, but I still like revert to the bases just to keep up with it. This is the famous T that you're like, why'd they do that? It's to help measure where you're gonna face the face. Like this one is gonna be pretty straightforward, like right here. If I had drawn this line a little bit more, if I had drawn that line a little bit more to like to the left, my left, then their eyes would be like about here. They'd be facing this way. And if I drew them a little bit more like right here, and vice versa, then they'd be like this. They'd be looking over there, over here. Another option you got is the profile. It's the profile look. Excuse me. Which is like where you put the lines, like basically like right here. And then this would be where your chin would go, and your eyes would be like right about here, and they'd be looking out with the nose right here. But we'll get to all that. I'll do a profile soon, once we're done with this posing 101. Okay, let's get back to this. Look at that solo blue. Okay. So let's just fade this one out a bit more. Let's delete the other ones. What should I be drawing? I guess I'll draw my character. My character Nathan. Or maybe Goku. No, Goku wouldn't do this pose. Neither would Nathan, though. Let's go obscure. My mind's telling me, let's go obscure and draw the skeleton gentleman. I already said it, so I guess I'll do it. For one thing, we're gonna have to redo the whole thing, because... Now, I'll work with this. I'll work with this. This is the base of... No. Well, skeleton gentleman, isn't it? Yeah. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I'll draw the person for a profile pick later. Anyways, so I picked a different pen stroke this time to help me like plan out more on the person, or plan out more on how the sketching looks like. It's mostly a rough sketch. It's a good idea to always start with a rough sketch first. Oh no. This is supposed to be like a tutorial of sorts, and I'm already doing things like off the bat. But as you see, like the skeleton, like the skull, I'm drawing the skull right now. Well, maybe the skeleton gentleman is a good thing to start off with, because he's like a skull. So the skull would follow the motion of and the skull usually follows the shape of the head, because like no matter what shape you do, the shape is always dependent on the skull, on the shape of the skull. Although some other elements like fat and muscle mass and tissue like take into account too. This is not the skeleton, gentlemen. Alright, I'm gonna save this one for later. And I'm gonna redo it. At least we all know how to do the skeleton base of a drawing, so I'm gonna do the same thing with that skeleton character I kept mentioning. The thing is, that body didn't work for the gentleman because he's like way taller. Here's how tall he is. This is his head. This is the base. Some drawers do this too, where they draw a line, but that's too like just a line for the middle. And think of that as basically the spine. That's the spine of the person or the character and where they're gonna lead. And this is sort of like the, you can feel it on yourself. It's not the rib cage. It's what's it called? I am blanking on the collarbone. That's what it is. It's the collarbone. And yeah, that connects the shoulders and arms. It's basically the song. The right bone connects to the left bone. That's not it. That's not the song at all. And like, this is why the other one didn't really fit too well, because the skeleton gentleman is very tall and very lopsided. He's very lanky. He's a skeleton with clothes on, but still, like, even his arms are a little longer than they should be. Than most human beings. I'm gonna have his hand pose. I'm gonna have him. Actually, I think I'm gonna do a slightly different pose here. I don't have to change too much. Just cut. Alright, now I'm using a drag tool. A sort of like the magic wand tool, but you drag around the thing. There we go. Because this is what I want to do. This is the pose I want. I have to readjust. You can see now how long his hands are and how unnatural they are, just with the slight difference in movement. I'm not gonna fix it because that's how it is with the character I'm drawing, the skeleton gentleman. He's a long lapsy boy. Just checking on how the stream's doing. Alright, and now I want him to look this way. Or I should say them. So used to like using gender based, the sort of like the sort of like, I guess I'm just used to using they and them for like when I don't know the gender. You know, like how it was originally taught. But I'm fine with using it as in the first person or a second person. It's supposed to be for third person, but you know what I mean. Anyways, the skeleton gentleman is supposed to be a they and them, but I'm not used to doing that yet. I'm trying. I really am. Okay. Okay. So now we're doing a little bit of fading out, and now we're gonna go around here. No. And I'm gonna do his eyes a little bit. Here is his eyes. There's one eye. There's one eye. Which would make his mouth like right about here. Yay. And his nose right about here. He has a bit of an almond. Oh yeah, I'm basically, okay, now I know what to do next now. Okay. So, the skeleton gentleman has a very pointy base-like face. It's like it goes like right up to here, because like they're basically a skeleton. Their jaw is always kind of like they don't make like oohs and ohs. I don't know. So their skeleton is always smiling, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't really frown too much. It has an open mouth. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Right now, actually, I think. So that's the chin of it all. As you can see, I'm gonna fade that a little bit more. There you go. And that's more or less the guideline I see when I draw. Though I don't draw it out often, that's what I see when I draw the skeleton itself. I'm just doing a faded sketch first. And it really helps if you know like anatomy a little bit. At least like a makeup course or something, because you really know how to like how to like use the skeletal structure to your advantage, to like how do you work around it for art media and the like. And this is where he would, or they would smile. I'm trying, I really dang it. Okay, and here you go. And this would be, that's not right. Hang on, I need that reference. I don't draw this character too often. It's the eye, I think. Yeah, the eye isn't too happy. This is supposed to be a very go-lucky character. There we go. That's the skeleton gentleman I know. And they have like a little nose here. Funny fact, when you die, the majority of your nose is cartilage, so it doesn't survive the decomposition. Anyways, if you feel around even your own skull right now, you can feel that there's some kind of like little divot, like about here, like where your eyebrows are. Isn't that interesting? I don't know. I mean, like, I know why. It's for the sockets of the eyeballs. At the same time, that's interesting. Why would there be a spot for eyebrows? Why do we have eyebrows in the first place? I know why we have eyelashes, to help debris not get caught in the eye, but why the eyebrows? And this is their horns. As you can see, it's basically like a little score with a little curvature triangle that goes up. The same thing here. I'll probably do something to help with perspective, like to show how. I'll do that now, but I'll go probably more a little detail how to deal with that predicament. But basically, you draw like a little circle and some line, and then that will help direct you where it's going. Ooh, anatomy facts. Yes, anatomy facts are fun and interesting, and you learn about the human body and what it's supposed to do and not supposed to do. Excuse me. I'm trying to think of an example of what it's supposed to do and not supposed to. Like the shoulders, they're able to go like clockwise and all that, but not like to the point where you just go whoa, with your hand like just basically sticking out like a clock, like a face of a clock. It just looks like that with perspective. Otherwise, like you have a very dexterous, no, what's it called? When you're not ambidextrous, that's hand. I'm gonna make his little jaw line a little bit smaller, or no, not smaller, a little bit wider. And I said his again, didn't I? Dang it. Oh, okay, an opportune moment. I'll use this. I'll do this. Yes, and this is how shapes can help. Obviously, their jawline doesn't end at that pointy end. They're more end like right about here. That helps me. Those two lines help me like measure how far I want their jawline to go. Hello there, Mariah, Reynolds, and hello there, Ice Cream. I'm doing little drawing tutorials for this day, or for Jacksepticeye's Thankmas charity fundraising, which is happening which is you're able to donate to right now, and you don't have to wait till like tomorrow or something. I have a page on Tiltify out right now if you want to like go and donate money and stuff. Mariah Reynolds has a headache today. That's sad. Is it bad, or like you're able to like wash this fine? I hope you can. Because if it's a simple headache, then like I would suggest putting water. I suggested this last time too, I think, to put water on your head. Oh, it's bad? Oh, then eat an ice cube or ice cream. Force yourself to get brain freeze, because that's supposed to sort of like distract the pain, or like soothe the pain over or something. Like I said, it's, at most it distracts the pain. Okay, so let's move on with this tutorial. Next up is the bod. How do we figure out the skeleton's bod? Let's go back to the almond head. And what we do with that is we make the rib cage. Yes, eat the ice cubes. Ice cubes. They're actually really helpful. And so, to help with that, you make a cylinder. How did I make the cylinder? What is easy? I have, this is the pit. This is the armpits. This is where the elbow sockets. No, shoulder sockets go to. And this is where, and the torso is basically a huge square. Usually. I'll draw different sizes of bodies too. But with the skinny, with the slim Jims, it's all like squares. Like this is a square and that's a square, and you follow the shape of the spine, where the spine goes, because the spine helps direct where the body goes. The spine is the support beam of the body. Shoulder sockets. Thank you, Maria Reynolds. Thank you. I am bad with anatomy. No, I'm no doctor, but I should know these basic terms. I took anatomy class. Okay, so that is the torso. The torso. So what do we do with the skull? I already drew the neck. The neck for the skeleton is basically a bunch of the vertebrae of the spine, because that is what the neck is, an extension of the vertebrae. Yes, it is a lot of laughs. But for normal necks, you would want to like draw into the shoulders like this, because that is the skin. The skin connects all of our parts together. The skin makes sure we don't fall apart. So you would follow the shoulder and slope into the shoulder, no matter what body part. It follows into the shoulder, especially if it's muscles. Muscles like detail where exactly what connects to who, I think. Which is why I always find like muscless characters so fascinating when it's anatomically correct. I could tell when it's messed up. That's the most I could do. And when I'm drawing this line, this is actually the collarbone that is going into. And this is, you can like help detail where the pecs are gonna be. There's this thing called, oh, hang on a sec. Good night. She's asleep. I was just saying good night. No, not here. The stream's not over yet. Please stay. There's this thing called alexithymia. Ah, that's a bone thing, isn't it? It sounds like it's a bone thing. I don't know what that is, though. Like I said, I'm no doctor. And so, like, the chest plate right here will help you to show you where the pecs are, the pec muscles. What you can do to do the thing, to do muscles and accentuate. But this guy doesn't have muscles. He has a rib cage. So we can use this to help guide us where the rib cage is. Although, like, I said his again. Dang it. Their rib cage is because, like, it's kind of a little, oh, look at that rib cage. It's a little pointless drawing this because they wear a tuxedo all the time. But it's interesting. I don't draw the ribs too much unless I want to accentuate that they're hungry or they're starving, like the children that you should donate to for Jacksepticeye's charity live stream, Thankmas, to help fundraise money for Red Nose Day. Oh, alexithymia is the inability to express or recognize emotions, to be honest. It kind of is a skeleton thing. But that's interesting. It is not kind of like a skeleton thing. I'm just trying to make myself comfortable. But that's cool. I know about that. It's interesting to not be able to recognize emotions because, like, I'm very empathetic or sympathetic by nature. No, empathetic. I freaking say bugs because I feel their pain and suffering when they're trying to escape. That they probably don't feel. So, like, I'm gonna draw the skeleton structure first. Anyways, so, like, I don't know what it's like to, like, not feel or not know. I mean, like, I've had moments where I don't know what they're feeling, but I could read the room very easy, very fast, especially if it's heavy. Right now I'm just drawing the spine. This is the spine. The spine is basically a bunch of squares if you don't want to go too detailed. Otherwise, the spine actually has some, let's zoom in on the skeleton gentleman's spine. The skeleton itself, they have a middle part, which is a sort of like the disc that helps keeps the spines together and, like, prevent them from bumping into each other and keeping it in place. There are times when you have a slip on the disc, and basically it just means that it's out of place, and that could feel very uncomfortable, and it could really mess up the skeleton if not treated properly, because like I said, the spine is basically the pillar, or the pillar of the body, of the human body. So, like, if you get rid of a pillar, the foundation starts falling apart and it starts not functioning properly. At worst, like I said, it'll fall and collapse on itself, and at least you'll start feeling effects along your neck, maybe even, like, have headaches because, like, the skull is connected to to the neck, which is also connected to the spine. You might even have pain in like other places you wouldn't expect, like maybe ribs or something like that. I don't know. Like I keep saying, I'm not a doctor. I just know these things because I've done research out of curiosity. It's definitely something you should look into. And now I'm drawing the pelvis. This is basically a bow tie. The tie that ties the pillar to the support beams, which is the legs. Now, this is not going to be accurate because like the skeleton gentleman is a very, very, very tall feller. Now, normally when I draw pelvis, I don't normally pay attention to the hip pelvis because what I do is I draw a little Speedo, little underwear, little bathing suit, whatever, right here, because this is where the hips are. And then I draw in the legs. Lanky boy, lanky long boy, like the clamp, my clamp drawings. This is where the knee will be. And so I draw them according. Sometimes lately I've been doing it like where I draw this straight down and then I do the calf. I don't know how to do that. I drew that. I don't know why. But it looks nice. It feels nice. Although sometimes it kind of messes up, so you want to pay attention to how the leg looks eventually as you keep drawing. This is how the skeleton gentleman's legs would look if they had muscles. And then the foot, it's the foot's turn. We'll do the foot really quick, very quickly, because I am right here. And the foot, I've seen some tutorials and I've used this. It's pretty good. The foot is a bunch of shapes like everything else. You first draw a triangle. That would be the heel, which you shape out. And then after drawing the triangle, you could just leave it as a triangle if you want. But if you want to go in more detail, you draw the foot, which is basically a sort of rounded out rectangle. And then we could detail the feet. Well, welcome back. We could detail the feet later if you want. Mariah Reynolds left for a second. And now she's back. I wonder who else keeps leaving and coming back. All around me are familiar. Anyways. There's a little feature that like I keep forgetting unless I need to like watch it. It's, I don't know what this is called. It's the foot bump. It's the bump on the foot. Excuse me. You know what I mean. It's the foot that connects to the ankle and the thing. Probably the Achilles heel. I don't know. Okay, so that's how you plan out the foot on one side. I don't know. Let's do the other leg. Now, this leg is actually going to be like in. It's going to be pushing in. Ankle patella. I don't know. That might be what it's called. I don't know. I don't know that bone. You could be right. Okay. Like I said, I am no doctor. I just know things. Because it's going to be in. Do that inwards. And do the same thing. But because this foot is actually pointing another direction, it's pointing somewhat towards us, a little behind the other leg. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the triangle again. Another little triangle right here. And if you want to go into detail, you just draw a little or a more obtuse triangle right here. And that's where the little toes will be. A patella is a thing that connects your ankle or connects your knee or something. Oh, no, not that. We were talking about the ankle. if it's for the knee. Like I said, I don't know. And so there is the other foot. Yes. Now, to implement this to the body of the skeleton, this will be interesting. Because I don't draw femurs all that much. I should. Or should I just go straight for the clothing? No. Okay. From what I've seen, they're basically just a long, big... Oh, I am drawing on the wrong layer. No wonder it looked weird. Okay. There's a disc right here. You'd have trouble drawing toes, Mariah Reynolds? Well, stay tuned. We'll draw those eventually soon enough. I'll show you how to draw them. We're down at the legs, so we'll get to it eventually. And this is where the knee would be, along the thigh bone. I think that's what it's called. It probably isn't. Yes, this is, yes. Mariah Reynolds is like, yes, we're learning how to draw today. That's just what we're doing. I am tutorialing you guys on how to draw for Red Nose Day. Jack said the guys Red Nose Day live stream for raising money for the little children's during Thankmas. Thankmas, hashtag Thankmas. Donate if you can. I have a Tiltify in the description below. Learn. Yeah, the more you know. This is not how a femur on the thing looks like, on the hip bone looks like, by the way. You can look at any skeleton and like, no, automatically. That ain't how they look. That's not how a skeleton looks, but I'm gonna pull up a skeleton. Le skeleton. Images. There we go. I even drew the pelvis all weird and wrong. There's the coccyx right here. That's basically where you sit. And it rotates into this little hole here. Do I speak a different language? I know many words of 3 languages. However, I do not know how to speak them. They're not swears. I swear. Like I know some words in Spanish, in Japanese, and in French. That's about it. No. You say oof, but sometimes I hear the words and like I know I can't like I don't know. I just know what they mean, you know? So it's not too bad. Except for French. I haven't studied French all that much. I'm sorry, teacher. No, I'm sorry, senpai. No. Okay, so this is how the femur bone looks like. And that's how the pelvis bone looks like with little things right here. I should draw skeletal structure more often. And I was right about the disc. I was wrong about where it be. It'd be right here, right on it. This is where the hip dysplasia comes from when they talk about like if they unlock their hip or something, or like if their hip's breaking, is usually like at this point, because this is the point where the hip is connected to the pelvis bone. So if you're like, if they say like, if you dislodged the hip, that's where it is, because it's a conjoint. It's a conjoint ligament. I think that's what they're called. It can also be dislodge the hip, because they're like the shoulders. You can dislodge your shoulders. I recommend you don't, but you can dislodge and lodge your shoulders, because like they're sort of like connected in a cup like this, and this is where the bone structure is, and that allows the bone to go all right round like a record, baby, and also up and down. And if you haven't noticed, our hips are actually like that too. We don't just go back and forth, we can spread them out. We can spread them out and even up because it's like a rounded disc, I believe is what it's called. This one is actually going backwards. A ball disc, that's what they're called. Because it's round and you can turn it around like a ball. Oh wow, yeah, I learned that in school. And you can help children stay in school. If you donate into Jacksepticeye's Red Nose, they actually, I think they're mostly focusing on food. But I think they do school charity fundraising too. But for now, it's mostly food, which they do need. You can't learn if you're hungry. If you can, lunch wouldn't exist. Okay, and now we're drawing the other leg bone. This is basically how it's like with me in language. I just know things, but I don't know things. And this is how. This is the most famous leg ligament because this one's, when you think of leg breaks, this is one is what breaks the most. Mostly I think this skinny bit right there. Because like from the looks of it on the skeleton I'm drawing, it ain't that big of a bone. It ain't that thick. It goes outwards. It goes outwards like that. And then we go around. All the skeleton is just lines. I believe those are called the femur. Oh, watch. I'm gonna teach you how to draw feet. But I am going to give the skeleton human feet for the sake of the lesson. So we got the base down, but there's more steps to it. Okay, so with this, you draw obviously the ankle. And we're gonna assume this person has skin. They don't, but for the sake of the foot lesson, this is their skin. And you basically follow, if you notice, like a lot of feet are curved in like that because they're basically your hands for legs for the ground. And now the toes. The toes is where a lot of people, including me, like have trouble with. Yes, foot. And they're basically, for the toes, what you want to do, I'm going to draw the toes in a different color so that you can see a bit better. And for the toes, you draw little squares. One square, two square, three square, depending on the anatomy of your drawing. That's where you could stop. Or you could stop at 4 squares or 5 squares. And then you could detail it out. Let me show the details of the other drawing, the balls of the foot, as they call it. This is round, it is curvature. It is complementing the skeleton because we need this to balance out. We need this to balance. And so we draw soft round squares around it, like the DuckTales reboot heads. Then we go in, and then the ball of the foot is the ankle. And there we have the shape of a bottom of a foot. Thank you. I don't draw feet too often, but when I do, I heavily rely on the shaping system. With the big toe, you go in, and like the shoulder, you curve out into the leg, and there you have the foot. There is a foot, a foot. There is a foot in our midst at a foot. Now let us draw the foot. We will finish this foot off with a little eraser. And there's one toe. We just round it up. There's two toe. Three. Oh no, that was too big. Three. Another thing to keep in mind, 4, is that the toes shrink as you draw. 5. Think of the big toe as the thumb, the ring finger, the middle finger, or index, whatever. No, wait. It's thumb, index, middle, and then ring, and then the pinky. Just scrunched up, like how you would when you just bend your hands up to the palm of your hand. And there you have the foot. Except the thumb is longer. So we will do that with the other one, the same method, but it's in a different angle. So we must go into detail. Again, we move with the bod. And since the ankle is there, because the connecting bone is here, supposed to be there, we move in with this. It's a front view, so we'll have to do a little arc like that. And the big toe is one square. It should be a little bit more out because the foot is more flat than our hands so that it could support us. Like I said, the legs are the pillars and these are the base of the pillars. Another little square, 4 square, and a 5th little square. They're kind of like paws. If you're used to drawing paws, just elongate them. And again, you move in. They may have to be taken out, stick out a little bit more, so we'll do that in the drawing process. See how it works. Draw out the toe, or no, draw out the foot, starting with the ankle, at least for me. It's just how I do. And you see the ball of the foot, then curve in, then curve into the toe. 1 toe, 2 toe, 3 toes, 4 toes, and the 5 toes, The 5th toe, from the 5th toe, you curve up into the foot. There, that is a foot. Look at those little feet that the skeleton gentleman does not have. They are actually skeleton feet. And if you look at the skeleton feet on its own, it is terrifyingly very similar to a hand. Seriously, if you switch the hands with the big toes, you would see very little difference. Mariah and Reynolds left and they're coming back. Okay, cool. I hope they'll see the toe. Now we are going to go back and do the arms. I should get that skeleton reference back. Oh no, I deleted it. Oh no. Okay, hang on. Skeleton. Images. There we go. I'm using a Halloween prop as a reference. I didn't realize, but whatever. Okay. Okay. It's the same basis. I'm sure they're close enough to reality. Welcome back, Mariah Reynolds. We just got over how to draw the foot. If you want to play back and watch that if you'd like. Counting toes. Yes, counting toes episode. It is fun. You remember this little piggy went to the market and all that? I do. They were fun. They were tickled. Alright, so this is the collarbone. Oh, the breastplate. The breastplate. And breastplate is like right here. And that helps cover your heart. Oh, take some aspirin. Yes, that helps too with headaches. I hope that it helps with the headache. Anyways, this is the breastplate, and the breastplate helps with, I hope your headache gets better. The breastplate helps block blows to the heart, because it's basically a mini shield is what it is. That's more skeleton, more ribs. Apparently, did you know this? I've heard that us humans have false ribs. There's a false, or rather an extra rib, per se. That's what I've heard. It looks like that's the case with the Halloween decor. And now we're drawing the arms. This is where the shoulder pocket is, and that's where you can dislocate your shoulder if you need to. This information was very, very useful to me in Brotherhood when Armstrong got hit in the shoulder. He got his shoulder dislocated, but when he got hit again, like I knew right away that he fixed his shoulder by popping it in place with the force of the punch, and I thought that was so cool. Imagine someone having an extra rib. They probably wouldn't notice, or probably think that's normal. Because, like, they had it their whole life. Why wouldn't it be normal? And now we draw the connecting. These, I think, are called hinge joints because they only go one way. Because they only go one way, usually. You can, when you turn your arm over, that's actually your shoulder turning your whole arm over that way. Because, as I said, these are hinge joints, and so they can only go one way, generally up and down. But if you're able to turn it all the way around, that's actually your hip, your wrist, and your shoulders doing that. You can feel it if you try it. Just pay attention to the elbow. To the elbow socket's position when you turn it. You don't actually feel it turn. You feel the arm. When I do it, I feel my shoulder and wrist turn, but not the elbow. And if your elbow is able to go is able to turn like this, that means there's probably something up with it. You should probably get it looked at. It could also mean you're double jointed. I don't know. Like I said, get it looked at. And now the hands. Like the feet, we will give the hands. Oh, I forgot to show how I do hands with ordinary bods. Okay, let's do that with this elongated, messed up body. Because the arm isn't supposed to be like this ridiculously long. Generally, they're supposed to be... a good tip I found is like basically a triangle. You follow the triangle, and that's how... This is where the length of the arm should be, where it goes, because the wrist is sort of like, what's it called? Parallel to the shoulder. They probably need a doctor. Yes, they probably would, Mariah Reynolds. Especially if your arms are this long. No, that's just a growth spurt. So, okay, so along with that, following in the shoulders, let's assume we made the neck line. Along the neckline, you go down the shoulder, and then you go down the shoulder. This is like, you don't need to do this, but I'm showing you this is where the ball joint is, and so that's where a lot of muscles are drawn to have, like, where like the arm really starts and begins, basically. So with that in mind, with this in mind, you draw this, because this is where the not the biceps, the arm muscles, I don't know what they're called, would be. And following this, this chest, this would also be where the arm would be, where the armpit would be. And so you would follow the hand down. Then to help you, what I do to help me with the elbow is that I basically draw a mini elbow pad and to help show me where the elbow goes. I do that sometimes too with the shoulder pads. And so to continue, you continue up to the hand, a boot, a boot, a boot, and then you will shape it out like any other. Have you watched Mean Girls before? Yes, I have. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. It's a good movie. I love it. I love Mean Girls. I haven't seen it in a while, though. I should. Let me show you the anatomy of the hand. You should see, there's theory video or a thesis video about how the main character's friend, I think her name is Janice, how she's actually also a mean girl too. It's by The Take, and it's a good video, and it brings up some good pointers. You go blend to cool. Alright, so the fingers is what a lot of people have trouble with. And they say, oh, just draw mints. Well, I don't know if they say that. I know that's what I do. The hands are interesting. Sometimes I do well on them, sometimes they're just stubs. So what do we do about that? Well, like with everything else on the human body, you must remember that they are all squirrels. They're all shapes. They're all little squares and triangles. So this we draw. We drew a triangle up here to help show where the fingers will end. And now we would draw squares to help us separate the fingies. And we are missing a pinky, so I'll draw that. I'll draw the pinky here. The pinky, if you haven't noticed, when you look at your pinky, it actually curves into the thumb. The thumb is a square cylinder, but when you draw it up, you're supposed to follow it there. But we'll do that soon enough. And the pinky. The skeleton gentleman is a gentleman, so they shall have their pinky stick out. Sometimes, like, you could just draw sticks too. I draw sticks a lot to help show where I want the hands to go, and then I draw the cylinders. Okay, now let us define the hand. No, wrong brush. Okay, so assuming that we made assuming that like this is done with a human bod and not just a skeleton, we're gonna draw the hands as if it was a human body. And so we take the hands and draw them along the wrist. And I am having trouble mapping this out, so let us go back and detail where I want the joints of the thumb to go. You could do this with little ball points because that's where they bend if you want. But I don't want that. I want it to be sticking out like this. I'm going to do this in a darker shade so that you can see. So this will be a ball joint, and I will do that here. One cylinder. I want it to go out like that, so I will draw another one here. And so I'll draw another little cylinder and then a little triangle, because that's the tip. So it should be like that. And let's do that with the other ones too while we're at it. So this is the ball of the hands, which is where the palm starts. So you'll go and make a cut here. That is where one little knuckle is. We only have three knuckles, or the third is right here, but if you don't count that, we only have like 2 little knuckles on our fingers. This would be right here, and that will be sticking out. And then we do the same with the other hands. Could just easily as follows the index finger if they want. And the fingers can change in lengths from character to character. They don't all have to be middle fingers longer and all that. You can change however you like it. And the pinky is sticking out, so this is a weird hand. I don't like it. Let us fix that. We can change that by finding out the direction of the hand. This is like a palm reading. You basically shape out the palm reading of the hand. Do it like that. Because even your hand has a lot of muscles, and a lot of muscles means a lot of shapes. It looks like I was off when I drew this bit. This is actually how it's supposed to look, and it feels a lot more natural and more fluid. As you can see, a very drastic change. And I mistook the pinky. The thumb actually follows through with the index finger. Silly me. No, there's no excuse. I'm not making up an excuse. That was just a brain part. That was just me. You got to remember, when you're drawing hands, the thumb is always the opposite of the pinky. And when this could be a little difficult, I even see this done among pros. If you turn your hand around facing you, you do not draw, in a fist, you do not draw the thumb, because the thumb is usually hidden. Kind of like, okay, so like this is a hand. Okay, so like, let me move elsewhere. Okay, so like this is a hand facing away from your face. Oh. and that would be the thumb. I ruined the thumb. It looked more like a thumb the third time. So with the palm out, but if you facing it towards you, with the palm, if you face it with the palm towards you, the thumb moves over here. I pressed the wrong brush again, but alright, that's fine. And this is where the pinky is. The pinky is long. Okay. So we better keep that in mind. Okay. I sometimes do that mistake myself. Okay, so back to this conundrum. We want the pinky sticking out. Do we want it sticking out or sticking up? That's the question. What is the gentleman way? I'm gonna say sticking up. So we have it like this. So we have the little base knuckle right here. And then we'll draw up. Draw up, up, up. And there's your pinky with 1 and then 2. And then with the index finger, there's 1 knuckle, there's 2 knuckles. Then the other fingers can simply follow suit, as I was mentioning earlier. Hello, Ichigo Pink. Welcome back. Yeah, girl back. Yes, we're doing a drawing tutorial for Jacksepticeye's Thankmas to help raise money for the charity foundation Red Nose Day. And right now I am drawing the hands. I had a little oopsies with the pinky, but it is fine. I'm fixing everything. I'm drawing a character that I called the Skeleton Gentleman's Mine. It's my Disney. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, it really is mine. But that is the hand. I'm on the hand right now. And now that we fixed the hand compared to the before, let us finish detailing out the hand itself. Okay, okay. Oh, no, don't want that. We want the black. This is the sketch drawing. And there's the thumb. I love that style of the skeleton's hands. It's just so cool somehow. Oh, thank you. It's just a tutorial on how I drew the hand. But this will be how the skeleton's hands do look like, because they wear gloves. And so, back on topic, with the hand, if you haven't noticed, I'm repeating this. If you haven't noticed, your thumb actually morphs in with the index finger. Yes. So you don't want to do that. Make sure if you have your hand palmed out like that, make sure the index finger like folds in or waves in to the thumb. And now we should do the outside, just because I wanna. You could do finger by finger. You could just start at the pinky if you want. But look at how natural and nice this hand looks now compared to what I would have come up with. This light blue bit, it was weird. The hand was bent all weird. But now it is just so lovely. It falls into place so neatly. And this is where the other palm of the hand is, which, if you haven't noticed, also curves in with the pinky a little bit. You don't see it, but if you draw it out, you can see what I'm talking about, you know? Like, you can see it be like a thread, is what it is. Where you think a thread should be. Now we just doing the rest of the fingers. And then that was the middle, and now it's the ring. And there we go. There is a hand. This is what we have so far of the skeleton gentleman. And now we shall repeat. You know what? I'm not gonna do the same thing with the. Oh, I've noticed a mistake. You noticed how, unless I have it out like that, then that makes sense. But if your hand position was, my hand position in mine was originally going to be like this, with the palm facing out. But because this arm, if we had stretched this arm out, let me get the yellow. No, orange is darker. There we go. If we stretch this arm out from here and stretch it down to here, you can see that the length of the arm does not match with this length of the arm. This arm should actually be longer. So, and if we, because they are parallel to each other, and the way how he's standing is sort of like a pendulum, if you think about it, where it always stays in a constant motion between back and forth and back and forth. So I either need to make this longer, this hand longer, like up to here, or this shorter. Normally, I would actually make this shorter because, as I mentioned before, with that little shortcut I've heard, I found out on the internet, I think through Tumblr specifically, the best way to tell if your hand is anatomically correct is to draw a triangle to see where the hand and arm would be, like that. So I would actually have it right here. But the skeleton gentleman is not fully human. He's a skeleton with modified bones. Actually, I think I will make this arm a little smaller, a little shorter, but not by too much. But basically the skeleton gentlemen, they're supposed to have they're supposed to like have elongated niblets on limbs to help accentuate. I don't know. It just looks nice. It matches the character's design, I think. There's no real design to it except to show that it's not a normal thing. So, taking that wrist and we map it out and we elongate it again to about here. Whoops. To about here. Then we take this and then we go across the knee. There. Now the arm is pretty much even with the other arm, no matter what position is in. However, if no, I'll leave all that in. I'll leave all that in. However, if I had the hand out with the palm facing away from everything, with the thumb here, I really like how you draw the bones. Thank you, Zippy Zill. I am too. I mean, I do too. Anyways, if I had drawn the skeleton hands outward with the palm facing out here, then what I could do to fix this mess is do circle, 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 circle. Let me zoom in. Is to like it's basically a depth thing where another tip I got from the internet, you draw circle, 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 spirals and circles. Is this cool? Thank you. You draw spirals and circles to help show and guide you the direction you want to go. I'm not going to do this perfect. I'll do that on another drawing. So, then you draw it like this, with the back, this end being bigger than this end, but also still like keeping it in place. So then it looks like, let me activate it. So then it looks like it's more like facing how it should, facing outwards. And it looks like he's pushing, or they're pushing their arm away from them. It's like it's behind them, essentially. And so that would help with the problem we had earlier with this arm being longer, because then it gives you the perspective, this perception that, oh, this arm is supposed to be the same length as this arm. It is just turned around, which actually he would do. Maybe I should do that. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this drawing up. And let's fade this out a little bit more. Though, like, the whole depth perfection still applies to the evenness of the green line if we wanted it to look more uniform. Okay, so the left bone is connected to the right bone. The femur is connected to the hip bone. The hip bone is connected to the skeleton. The skeleton is connected to the collarbone. Collarbone is connected to the neck bone. The neck bone is connected to the head bone. The head bone is connected to the neck bone. The neck bone connects to the right arm. The right arm connects to the right hand. The right hand connects to the right fingers. No, I'm watching The Good Doctor right now and I'm crying. I've never seen it, but it looks like it's a good drama. That's all I gotta say. Good drama about a doctor learning how to adapt to the human normality. Yep. While doing office work. Alright, so here we have the full picture of the skeleton gentleman. And we will draw close momentarily. I'm just checking how the stream is doing right now. Everything looks good. Let me just get you guys. Oops, I didn't mean that. I meant to do out this to get you guys a better picture of this feller. Nothing like drawing a skeleton. Okay. Let us dress this individual up, because right now they are naked. As naked as one gets. No. Yeah, it's a skeleton. Alright, so what we're gonna do is basically outline this feller. Really dark, thick lines. My thing isn't loading, my phone. So I'm just gonna have to start with the idea that hopefully you guys are able to watch this. Oh, thank you for liking my laugh. I don't get that compliment too much. No. Alright, so let's fade this out. Let's sketch on his clothes first. We are gonna dress this fancy fella up. Oh, thank you. First off, they have a hat. It is a small hat. It's a small little top hat. I'm gonna draw it like this over here. Actually, for some reason I have it in mind that it's right here. And so we draw a little oval, which will be the base. And then we draw a little cylinder that we curve up. And then another oval. That's how I draw their hat. And now it's time for their collar. Not the collarbone, just a collar. An error occurred. Okay, hang on. I'm just fixing my phone really quick. Okay, while that loads, they have a little collar. Clothes follow and fold over the human body, like a blanket that's sewn a purpose in a certain way. No, they don't have a bow tie. Do they have a bow tie? I feel like they would have a bow tie. I feel like this is... Hang on, I need to get a reference. Like I said, I don't draw this guy too often. Where are they? Where are they? A little later than that. Here we go. Ah, they do have a bow tie. It's not like the typical bow tie. So, we're gonna draw this. So, I don't know what kind of collar that is. This phone's acting odd. Oh well. Anyways, is this kind of bone that they bow, not bone. It's like one of those dangly ones that goes like this. Clothes fall over the body because gravity is pulling them down. And since they are of a light, usually a light substance, like clothes tend to be a lot more loose fitting, and so they would have more creases and more things to like that would like wrinkles and stuff to help accentuate the fact that they are basically just fabrics on you. Okay. Alright. What else do we have? Yes, this skeleton gentleman actually has a vest. Hang on, I'm gonna check the live stream another way. Stop Thankmas. Ah, there we go. It's looking good. Okay, cool. Alright. Again, we follow the body because, like I keep mentioning, the clothes follow the body. Not the other way around. The body doesn't follow the clothes. So, the collar? There is some structure to the fabrics, especially if you're dealing with like a much more rougher, a much more stiff material, like a suit. Like what the skeleton gentleman has. And that's because they're supposed to, I don't know why tucks are made like that, other than it's just fancy. And again, with the body, you want the clothes to face the direction that the body is facing. You know? It's so, since the body is facing this way, the clothes shall reflect that. Right, yes. This little skeleton gentleman has their little waist and coats, I don't know what they're called, has like little flaps. It's a stylistic choice. We follow the bones, follow the body. Excuse me. Follow the body, going down. Yes. Oh, no. That's another thing about clothes. They are uniform. So usually, there are actually some clothes that are not uniform, but texts are generally very uniform. So one end is like round and curvish, and expect the other end to also be round and curvish. We could put a button here if we want. Now we draw the pants. You'd think the clothes would have been simple. No, there's still like stuff. There's still like methods to even the clothes of the madness. I'm mostly talking to myself because I thought clothes like would have been simple and easy, but like tutorial. Like I could have just like left it as like we just draw out the pants, but nope, that's not the case. Here are the fancy smashy pants. They're kind of like bell bottoms in their wardrobe case. Oof, BRB. Alright, see you, Mariah Reynolds. If it's a headache, that's the issue. I hope it gets better. I hope it's not too bad. Here is the one bell bottom. That's, I don't know what that area is called, the crotch area, basically. And then we draw a zipper. And then we follow also with the, and then we repeat the process, following the leg. Here's this thing though, because this leg is somewhat going up, the bell bottom is going to be more like this. It's going to be more down towards the ground, facing behind. Because, like, gravity works against the fabric. So, like sheets in the wind, the fabric would follow where the gravity is. So instead of sticking out like that way, unless it's made really, really stiff with a really stiff fabric, it'll fall that way. Even then, though, I think even fabric would, depending, even if it's like wire, maybe even especially if it's wire, it'll probably fall backwards towards you. Not towards you, but towards behind you, you know? And now the shoes. We draw the shoes. Skeleton gentleman, of course, has boots. Has fancy boots. And we follow the foot. We follow the foot. That is not how we follow the foot. I normally don't draw the feet with the skeleton gentleman. The skeleton gentleman has one of those gentleman heels. So, we shall follow the foot. also give length to the foot. Curve with the leg, with the foot, with the foot. Because that's what running shoes do. Think of running shoes. Obviously heels are stiffer, but if you use running shoes as an example, they're actually shaped to go along with the foot so that running will be easier on the legs. I did not learn this, I just figured this. And the shoes are basically all squares. So I'm gonna revert back to the shaping method. Get this on a different layer. Get this a different color. Revert back to shapes if you're having trouble. That's what I do. They are guides. This is the bottom sole of the foot. A-T-L, wait, Atlas. A-E-L-E-T, that spells Atlas. Bring us closer to our souls, yeah. A-E-L-E-T, that spells Atlas. Okay, here we go. And yes, that's better. Although they're supposed to have a longer foot, so I shall make it longer. Normally I draw the skeleton gentleman as sort of in the rubber hose animation kind of deal thing here, but for this tutorial they are going to be extremely detailed. I went extremely detailed for the tutorial live stream. Yeah, okay, that's a good foot, that's a good shoe. So now we outline it. And again, it follows the foot so it curves in like that. Where the toes and the ankle meet. Where you bend your leg to make it stand. There you go. There you go. I'll probably show how I normally draw the skeleton gentleman really quick after this to show why I'm having such trouble with the shoes. And now the other foot. This one should be easier, I think. I don't know. I've been wrong before. Now, since the shoe has a higher heel, we'll have to take into account how that heel looks. So the heel adds like a good inch or two. There we go. And then we just shape it up. This would be, you can also use like sort of like, you know, those dome little triangle things. Let's shape it up. There we go. And then whoop, we just sketch it out. Don't have to do like all this detail. It's mostly just a step-by-step kind of thing. Point it up. And there, and there, and there. And there we go. That is the feet. And this is the skeleton gentleman so far. And now it's time for these shoulder pads. And I have trouble with suits sometimes because like of where they bunch up and all that. Especially if like I want to get into more detail. Like right here. Like I said, I don't normally do detail with the skeleton gentleman. They have a sort of bell-bottom thing going on too, with the cuffs of their wrists. Here we go. Now we will draw the glove. Which should be easy because, like I said, it is generally basically the hand. But it has it's a little long. It's a long and a little poof. Generally is the same. So I don't know why I'm tracing this over. I'm not going to do that. No. There's one thing. There's a little bit of a fabric bump here. Because that's what fabrics do. They bunch up in corners and where they bend and stuff. We do the same thing for you. There's a shoulder pad. Over here, way over here to your left if you haven't noticed. Okay, so then I need water. I need to drink water. I will shortly after this. Much information. Got a buy and a ball. I got a little score, yeah. A-E-L-E-T, that spells Atlas. Close to your soul, yeah. We're gonna together. We're gonna tie the world together. One roll at a time. Okay, I think I'm stuck with this hand, so I'm gonna inch it. I'm gonna inch it. I'm gonna inch it closer. Right there. Yeah, that's as good. Before was fine. Because the skeleton gentleman has one of those long cuffed gloves. This is kind of how I normally draw his hands. Arms. Like I said, I normally typically draw them in a rubber hose kind of animation style. Not animation, just a rubber hose style. I think I will scooch this in a bit. Scooch, scooch, scooch. Scooch, scooch. Scooch, scooch. Scooch. Trying to decide how long the length is. I'm going to do that with the previous layer. Because then that'll help me decide what length I should go for with the glove. I think that's good. Alright, let's just redraw the glove. go. There's one. There's two fingies. There we go. There we go. I kept saying how the fabric falls down with the anatomy. Maybe the cups are what's off about this. But I could detail it at the end, fix that bit at the end. There we go. Okay, here we go. And there is the skeleton gentleman. Let us ink this fella out. Putting it all in one layer. Okay, on a thicker line. Here we go. We basically just outline it all. And that's how you use shapes and such to help you out with drawings. You basically just follow everything. I'm just finishing this up to just show you how it looks all when it's all nice and done and neated together. Well, okay. No, I don't like that. Yes, that is good. Yeah, this you could go wherever you want. With the outlining, you could like go on different lining strokes. You could do it with different texture if you want. Get creative. Like I mentioned, you don't have to do the whole process. It's just it makes good practice though, and it makes for it makes for good guidance to help show you like where you want the drawing to look like, especially if you have trouble with certain angles or a certain position or certain body or certain body parts. Shapes, the basics of everything. They help. I'm gonna just add one little stroke right here. And here's the nose. Here's the other horn. And there's these. Go. All this from all them shapes. 1, 2, eh. 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 Here's another line. Here's the bow tie. A little hard to see, but I can see just fine. But I know where everything is, too. It's another thing that the shapes help you with. They help you guide the lines. If it's crowded like this and you want clarity, what can help is if you do it in different colors. And not like just the same shade. Well, like different colors and like different clarity. Fading out, like what I have here. So like if the layer before this was like yellow, make sure the lighter colors are further up and the darker colors are further down. So that way it'll come out a lot more clearer, and the darker colors won't overshade or overlap with the lighter colors too. Like have a blue under a yellow and a green, maybe in between if you have betweens and such and so forth. You can also, I guess, if you do it like one color though, like all different shades of blue, they have to be very drastically changed. Otherwise they'll all just overlap and just look like the same shade of blue with various different squiggles spewing out here or there. Yeah, a little reminder that this is all for Jacksepticeye's Thankmas to help raise money for the charity organization Red Nose Day to help raise money for children and their families. It all technically starts today, and I have a Tiltify account in the description below where it can help you like donate. Just donate. I don't know how to get notifications that people are donating while I'm live streaming. You can only watch, I guess. I'm having a bit of trouble with this arm. There we go. There we go. All nice and neaty. Let's get a zoom in on that hand and outline that. A little bit of how I'm outlining is how I generally draw the skeleton gentleman. Other than maybe a basic skeletal structure for the skeleton. I mostly just like freehand this stuff. There you go. 1, 2. And there's 1. The glove have wrinkles to show that it is fabric. Go. It's okay if, like, during the outline process, your hands or the lines don't necessarily align. It doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough. But not good enough where it's like you're hurrying through a due date. Good enough where it's like presentable. In a nice, elegant way where only you can see the mistakes. And that's when it helps if you like step back and look at it and take a break and look at it back in like an hour or 2 or even a whole day. Because it helps you give you fresh eyes of the whole picture. I didn't like how computery that looked. Oh. Okay, I know there's probably a shortcut where I could do like just the whole line how I want. They got hips. Excuse me. Okay. Like I said, I need water. I need a drink. Oh no. Sorry about that. I meant to go up from the bottom, but I ended up bringing the whole screen up. Ah, I like that. That's what I wanted to do. Good. We are at the bottom. Okay. Up, up. Let's see if I can do this in one stroke. No, I cannot. I mean, I can, but it has that MS Paint look. It's not bad, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for smooth. Smooth like Jagger. I don't know how smooth Jagger really is. Anyone still remember Mad cartoons? Back when they were on Cartoon Network? And then there was like the Move Like Java. Couldn't help but think of that music video ever since whenever I hear that song. Okay, and now the boots. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. He got heels like Disco Stew. They. Okay, I'm gonna do this at the same time to just make it go a little faster. Okay, here we go. And one more. I'm doing like that. I remember when my freaking undo button didn't work right during one live stream. That was horrible. I'm glad it didn't last long. Oh, it was horrible. It kind of low-key wants me to do like a no undo challenge, but at the same time, after what happened, no. Maybe I'll do it in real life. Was like with the no erasing kind of deal, because I normally use pencil and erasers. Alright, here we go. Here is the skeleton gentleman. Let us take out the layers. 2 and 3, and there he is. From one drawing from the base. Let's get to the basics of it. The very, very base. From this to that. That's where the drawing, that's where the shapes and such can help you with drawing and the like. Let me see how much time we have. Give me a second. We only have 12 minutes left. Oh my goodness. What a stream. We've done a lot, but there's so much more you need to learn. Or you can learn. Or you know, and just would like a nice refresher on. Let me zoom in to get a nice look at this feller. I'm going to color in the eyes. I'm going to color this feller in. No, I didn't want to color in the outlines. Let's see how fast I could color them in. Let me see how everything's going actually first. And how's the fundraising going? Refresh. We got $20! Yay! Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Obviously, I didn't expect to get to $100 in like 2 hours, because I'm not that big of a channel, but it's still like really nice and better than nothing. I was actually expecting nothing. I was bracing for nothing. You know what? Maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow. Another stream tomorrow to get to up to until we get to the amount that I desire. Whew, the skeleton is done. Yes, the skeleton is done, Zippy Zill. And I am thinking of having another stream tomorrow to help reach to the final score of the total I'm striving for is just $100. It's small compared to everyone else's probably screen, but like I said, I'm a small channel. I mostly just want to like let people know the haps of the situation. And yes, again, from this to that, what a leap. And now I will spend the next 10 minutes, we'll spend the next 10 minutes just vibing and coloring. Let me show you how I normally color with my left hand. Let me get another layer. Then cut this feather out. This is how I normally do it when I have like a big no! When I have like a big spot. And delete. No, not that on that layer. Yeah. Although that was probably the worst color to start off with in that situation because I should start with the base, which is the color of the skeleton's structure. No, I think it'll be a purple, a shade of purple. There. Maybe a bit more blue. That's better. Yes, that makes a big difference in my eyes because like I have my computer set where it lets me know there's a certain time by dimming the lights. So I have no idea if that's the right color. And now it is time to color in the rest. Just the suit. No, I didn't want to select anything. Thank you. Oh, that's why I selected it. There we go. Now let's make the gloves a little bit more on the lighter shade of blue. Just to color in, color in. Maybe tomorrow I could do another tutorial drawing on an actual human being and also a tutorial on how to color it. Again, the Tiltify thing will be open until like the whole event is over. Here's a I keep on changing subjects, but let me finish this sentence. Until the whole event is over, which is the 20th. It is actually 9 days long. Ain't that a treat? That doesn't mean I'm live streaming all those days. No, probably just today and tomorrow. That's it. Excellent. Maybe we can make the skeleton skull a bit more white. I need to make this. No, I want that bigger. Oh, that helps. There you go. And like I said, I don't know if this is right. Now let's go with a more yellow look. More orange, more pink. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. 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 I think. I don't know. Maybe more orange. Yes, that's better. The skeleton takes very good care of himself. This is how I normally color when I have like big spots to cover. I just color around and do the, oh no. Okay, I color around and usually bucket in, but apparently there's a spot open and I don't want to look for it. So I'm just gonna do this. Just color it all in. And then I select on the line layer and then cut it out. Yeah. Oh, I noticed some spots I missed. Okay. And now the other glove. I don't even show you. Take a look at that and I know the moves like Jagger. Look at the moves like Jagger. Look at the moves like Jagger. There we go. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave the collars that color. Or maybe, oh no, that shirt should be that color. The dress shirt. Because I imagined their shirt, their blazer to be like a dark velvety color. Let me see if it'll color everything. Yeah, it won't. Yeah. Yep. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look behind the tent and listen once again. With candy canes and sugar make the glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bell will toll. Really sight to see is the holly that you bring on your own front door. A pair of hopping, knocking up the whisker fighting up in. You know what? Time is starting to run out. I'm just gonna finish the skeleton when the timer goes up. So, Mom and Dad and hardly wait for school to start again. That's relevant now more than ever. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Once again. Whoops. Oh well, it's going to be turned black anyways. It's coming along together. They're coming along together. I keep on freaking messing that up. I think actually maybe it should be more faded out. Yeah, perfect. Now we'll do a little bit more fading out with the colors. Whoop. I can't wait to see how this looks when my screen gets back to normal. I feel like this would be lighter. There we go. There you go. I think I'm fine with this. That's better. Where's that pen? There it is. This skeleton, they really like the color purple. Purple and black. They are a proud member of the Ghoulish gang. Just a little something I'm doing for like designs. Other members include a witch cat and a ghost pirate. Yes. I think I'm gonna do basic shading. Well, the timer's almost at the 0. Like I said, I'm just gonna finish coloring up the skeleton gentleman. I don't like the purple anymore. There it is. No, maybe they should have a matching tie with the shoes. That's too dark. I feel like that's actually... Ooh. I don't know anymore, especially with the computer. No, I think that's gonna be the shoes. The shoes and the tie. Okay, then I'm gonna make the purple a darker. But it's supposed to be like a velvet purple, obviously velvet purple suit. They're usually very purple. I just don't like this purple. Fancy boy. He is a fancy boy, last one. Welcome to the live stream. If you just joined, I don't know. But we are almost done. I'm just coloring in this boy. The fancy boy is, I don't know. I use boy as gender neutral terms. Not B-O-Y boy. B-O-I boy. But generally, the skeleton gentleman, I was gonna say the gentleman skeleton, that don't make sense. The skeleton gentleman is generally they and them. I just have trouble remembering that. Here's the fancy boy. The hat needs to be fancy. Which will be the same purple as the suit, I think. Yes. I find that the fancy people like to match. Which makes sense. It's not even just matching colors, it's matching palettes. Skeleton gentleman, skeletal man. That's funny. That's a clever pun. A clever play on words. A little hard to say, but a clever one nonetheless. I like it. Not changing the gloves. Alright, now, what shade of purple? Light or dark? Let's try this one first. Oh no, the whole thing went purple. Lighter? No, I liked it. Actually, I'm growing fond of this purple again. Yes, a little closer to what I wanted. It looks perfect. And now we have to fix the errors. There is error. You can't really tell the difference. Maybe if I light it up. Like before, but lighter, you know? No, I'm gonna have to stick with the other one. Oh. Yeah, it's not that different. And like I keep saying, yeah, the computer is at a different tint right now. So I have no choice but to just go with it. The button. What if the undershirt matched the gloves? I wonder what their voice sounds like. I imagine them not talking. Like not being able to talk because they have like, they're a literal skeleton. They have no voice. Although like this was based on rubber hose animation kind of style. So like, it's not too far-fetched to have a skeleton suddenly start talking, but I like the idea that they express themselves very thematically, very much in their movement as opposed to their words. Okay, now time to add the shading. What shading should I have? It says purple, so I shall make it blue. Doing just the little finishing touches. And if you're just joining us, this is for a charity event for Jacksepticeye's Thankmas, which will help raise money for charity. What's it called? Red Nose Day. Imagine putting out cards with words on them and talking. They look amazing. Oh, like tarot cards. That's interesting. They rattle. The cards, they rattle. Oh no, they rattle. That's funny. Doing Morse code with the rattling. I don't have money. That's fine. You don't have to donate if you have to, but find someone. I'm mostly just doing this today as opposed to tomorrow to help like spread the word and like remind people that this is actually a 9-day event, and that's how long that my Tiltify will actually be out for. It's not a big amount, but you know, I mean, like, since we didn't hit the goal, I'm thinking of doing it also tomorrow. I don't know, probably. Because, like, this is a drawing tutorial, too. If you watch it from the beginning, I showed you how we got to this state in the first place. All the way from here to here. So if you want to rewatch all that, you can. It's a step-by-step process where I show you the importance of notes, of shapes. Hello, let's go animate! Welcome. I recognize you. You're near the end of the live stream. I am sorry, but I do plan on doing it tomorrow. I think around, I guess, who are you drawing next? Tomorrow? I don't know. I actually didn't know who I was drawing at first with this color, but because they were a skeleton and this was a tutorial, I thought, like, that might actually help. So it did. Yeah, you've been going for 2 hours? Yes, I have. That's not long. Do you remember my Halloween streams? One of them went on for the whole night, for the whole day. That was fun, but I lost a lot of sleep because of that. No. Okay. Maybe tomorrow I can also do coloring on like how to do coloring. Jack Skellington? No. It's the Skeleton Gentleman. Although I could see the similarities. Long, lanky, abnormally lanky. Unfortunately, they do not have a singing voice. Maybe they rattle to sing. It could be British Sands. British Sands would also... it could be British Sands. Or maybe more Papyrus, because he's also a lanky feller. Congrats on Sands for joining into the smash. I wonder if his brother will join in very soon too. Okay, we are almost done for the night. Okay. Chop, 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 chop. There we. I don't like how the glove looks. I'm gonna fix that. There we go. Then smallen the size. There we go. Yes. Oh, I'm just give a little shading to the thumb. I don't know why they do that, but they do. I mean, everything has shadows. I'm gonna fix the shadow on their face. Yes. Yeah, I think tomorrow I'll do a live stream where I do like coloring also, as well as drawing. Quick little drawing session, and then I do a little bit more on the coloring, how to color tutorial. Because that's what I did in this video for Let's Go Anime, who just joined us. Hello. I I did a step-by-step tutorial to help you guys know how to get from the base of a skeleton to the finishing touches of the skeleton. And I'll show you how we started in the first place in a second. Let me just finish the horn here. I'm surprised this took me 2 hours, to be honest. I thought I was worried that like it'd be longer and I wouldn't have enough time. I didn't give myself enough time. I don't want to say worried, I was more concerned. But still, good timing. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, there we go. And they are done. We started off with this lovely finishing touch. And we started off. Could you make a tutorial on how to draw characters? That's what I did in this video, actually. We started from here. I mean, this is the end result to where we started, which was from here. So if you go back and look at this video, you'll see a step-by-step process of how we use shapes and lines to help manipulate and find out exactly how to like help draw out your characters and how like anatomy could help you and stuff. I'll give you a little slideshow on how everything came out. A little slideshow. So this was step 1. This was step 2, 3, 4. And the feet are 4. 5. Let me make that higher. That's the clothes. And then 6. No, that wasn't 6. This was 6. The outline was 6. And then we had the color, and then the shading. Interesting, nice process. And now we are done. Oh, hang on. The layer didn't. Okay, there we go. And now we are done. Let me get the color, the background color the same. No, I think that'll be too much. Anyways, okay. So I'm going to rest stop and get. I think I am gonna do another live stream tomorrow about, I don't know, maybe about the same time as usual, or maybe like earlier in the day. I don't know. What will work for you guys? Yes, I'm asking you. What would work for you guys? Whoops, oh, that's weird. I was just trying to zoom out a little bit more to give them more of the center. Let me see how that went. It's going. Excellent. And just a little bit more. I just woke up 10 minutes ago. Okay. And now would not be a good time for me. So time zones are a factor. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I am in the US, if that helps. And it is right now 2:30 about. Excuse me. Oh, I should drink water while I'm waiting for like answers. I know. I am in the US Central, if that's what you're wondering, specifically so that you could get your time zones down. So, if you just woke up now, assuming that, so like about 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me will be about evening time for you, is what I'm getting at, is where I'm thinking. What do you think? Is that about right? Let me see. Assuming that you're somewhere in either the UK or in Japan. World clock right now is 5:30 p.m. in Tokyo. So it's 8:30 exactly here. Okay. So that would mean 8:30 a.m. in the morning. So you are somewhere in the UK or somewhere along that huge continent. I don't know. It's okay at the same time. I'd be okay at the same time, said Zippizo. Okay, cool. I know where you live, so I know that for a fact. So 8, and it's 2 now. So 9, 8. You are approximately, you're about 6 hours ahead of me. So if I guess, like, yeah, I think about having it about, maybe just look at now. Probably about 5. Would 5 o'clock work? 5 or 2? It's going to be the same span, about 2 hours, maybe a little over. Because like I said, I'm doing a drawing and then coloring this next time around. So, assuming that it's 8 and it's 2, so assuming that it's 6 hours ahead of you, it would be about early evening for some of y'all over there. So that should be good. Yeah. Yes. Okay. What do you think? What do you guys think? About like 2 US Central's good? No. I might not wake up. About 3. Let's make it like a 4. No. 3 or 4, somewhere in the evenings. I want time for dinner, so maybe about 5. I think I'll do that, yeah. Alright, 5 o'clock. I'll probably still take a break for dinner during the stream. No, when I finish. It's gonna be 2 hours long, so if I eat at like 5, I mean, if I start at 5, then I should be done by 7, which should be done about time for dinner for me. So I think I'll do it then. About 4 or 3 or 5. Yeah. That's like a good time for me. All right. It is settled. I will do another live stream tomorrow about 5 US Central Time. Let's see how the Tiltify is doing. Still at $20 worth of donations. That's fine. That's good. It's good on me. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to do another drawing tutorial, but this time with color. And maybe a little quick one with another character. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to set up the next live stream and a quick little announcement for Instagram. And until then, I really can't. No. Oh well, I'll just stick with the basics. So long, farewell, Avidas and adieu, 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 to you and you and you. Do 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 do. We're saying goodnight and goodbye now. So long, farewell, Avidas and goodnight. But good night until tomorrow. Okay, so hang on, I'm gonna check how the timing is in the stream. This might take a while. I need to, with this phone. I need to do it on the other one. Alright. Alright. See, it looks all good. It looks good. Alright, alright. I'm gonna close the live stream now. Good night. So long, farewell. I'll lead us in adieu. 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 That's me just checking. Adieu. Adieu. To you and you and you. Good night. Good night. Good night.